I'm so happy to have the opportunity to talk to you again.
It's a pleasure.
And today I have only 5 main questions for you about 5 main things. So the first one, what is the main difference between coaching and mentoring from your perspective?
Coaching and mentoring essentially come from the same root. It's all about helping people achieve clarity. And so if we think about helping people to get clarity about their internal world and clarity about the world outside them, those are two different contexts. And coaching and mentoring help you to link your understanding of your internal world with your understanding of the external world. So as a mentor, you bring something extra that a coach doesn't. You bring experience, often experience that's relevant to that person's world, but often also experience just of being a human being, of having lots of particularly if you're older, having had lots of encounters and experiences that you can draw upon. So the essence of coaching is about working with somebody to understand primarily their internal world and to ask a little bit about the external world. But as a mentor, you're able to ask deeper questions because you understand that world that they're in a little bit better. But overall, the difference, very small. It's simply a small difference of emphasis. And increasingly what we're finding is that the more mature coaches become, the more like mentors they become.
Interesting. And if there is no significant difference, but how could the observer could understand that it is a mentoring conversation in front of him?
It's the amount of using yourself that happens. So being able to use anecdote and story, being comfortable with actually reflecting your own feelings and empathizing. Yes, I felt that too. And so because you've got that greater understanding of what it's like to be in that role. I mean, for example, take a chief executive role. Nobody really knows what it's like to be a chief executive unless you've been one yourself. It's lonely, and having that insight enables you to give a different, a much deeper conversation very often.
Mm-hmm. And about conversations, what is your favorite technique for building rapport between mentor and mentee? Because I know that it's a basis for mentoring relationships.
My favorite one is to get people to ask each other, what do you feel passionate about? And when people talk about what they're passionate about, there's so much energy, and it doesn't matter that what they're talking about is something that would otherwise bore you. It's the fact that they are passionate about it. You become interested and connected with them. And so what we do is to get them to talk about it, and then the other person draws what they hear. And then they put the picture away, and you do it the other way round. And then you share the pictures, and you see all sorts of things about the other person. How did you know that about me? Well, I don't think I said that, did I? know? But no, I sort of intuited it from what you were saying. And so you get this really deep picture of somebody, and you have such great concentration on them from focus, because you're listening to them what they're saying, so it's auditory. You're doing the picture, so it's visual, and you've got the emotions. So you've got the emotional connection as well. So all of that helps you to be much more connected with the person as you build rapport.
Mm-hmm. Sounds great. I will try it. And what is the main thing that mentee get from mentoring relationships?
It obviously varies a great deal, but having somebody to use the sounding board who's been through similar things that you have, so that you can feel that you're not alone, that other people have been through the transition, because most mentoring and coaching is about a transition from a state here to a state there. And as an example, mothers coming back into the workforce. So there's a lot of maternity mentoring going on. And somebody who's made that transition from leaving behind the baby for the first time and coming back into the workplace feeling guilty, feeling that you need to reconnect within the organization and reprove your worth to the organization. Somebody who's been through that can really be supportive for you, both emotionally and practically.
Thanks. And what will be if we are talking about main things, what will be the main thing that participants obtain from your training, Effective Business Mentor in June for Russia?
It's one thing to be a mentor, to be a really effective mentor is another thing. And so we can enhance our skills in doing this by understanding how to engage the other person in conversations that will help them to really think things through for themselves. So we often talk about advanced coaching and mentoring as holding somebody while they have the conversation they need to have with themselves. And that skill of doing this, the skill to work with them at a strategic level as well as a personal level. So how do you integrate the thinking that they have to do about their organization and the roles that they're playing there with the thinking that they have to do about the person they wish to become and the values they wish to apply? These are all critical parts of becoming an effective executive or business mentor. So it's an integrative process. We integrate who we are and our experience in life in a way that's going to help the other person to grow and to achieve their objectives.
Thank you so much. I will be happy to see you again in June. And thank you for this interview.
Thank you, Elena.